Hey guys, what's up? Dan here. I just want to say a big thank you for everyone that's been subscribing and watching the channel the last 2 weeks. I'm glad to hear you enjoy the content. Even the guitarists are telling me they love it. So I guess it's a win after all. Yeah, as you can see, I'm in my home studio. I'm trying to stay in the frame. Hopefully I get to stay in the frame, otherwise there'll be some captions, I'm sure. Just want to say, guys, look man, seriously, thank you so much for the feedback and the support. I'm glad you love the content that's been happening. Today I'm just going back to probably about music and stuff, so more bass kind of content, but every other musician I'm sure can relate to it. I'm going to talk about, you know, how do you prepare yourself to audition for a band. As some of you are aware, I'm a nomad bassist at the moment, so what would I do if I need to basically look for a band? Number one, research. So the first thing you hear, or you found it on social media like Facebook, that they are looking for a bassist. So they put it in the description. You know, probably if you like Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, you must have good gear, you must be dedicated, no time wasters. So you hear it out like that. Alright, so what I would do in that situation is, do I know the band? Do I know the members personally? If I don't, I'll go on Facebook, I'll go on Instagram, even their music, I'll go and check if they're on Instagram as well. So, you know, you got to research the band and then find out what kind of metal they play. Is it metal that you want to fit into? Is it metal that you can play and then play it 6 months later you still like it? Because once you're in the band, you're going to be playing the same riffs over and over again, same songs over and over again. By the time you'll be able to engage to the audience because you'll know it inside out. So yeah, research is really important, guys. I cannot stress enough. Number two, material. So you've contacted the band, you told them you're keen, and you can't wait to hear their music. Well, from my experience, I give you the music anyway, so you know you got to study it. So listen, yeah. So you look at the material, and basically there's a lot of ways they go about it. Most bands that I've worked with use Guitar Pro. Guitar Pro is basically a software. It's MIDI bass. It's got guitars, tracks, bass, drums. Pretty much the band or the composers, they mainly have written it down for you. So it's very simpler. This is my preferred way of learning and preparing it, compared to the old-fashioned ways where they play the music and you listen. If you've got a good hearing skill, go in that direction, listen to music and hear it by ear if you feel comfortable. I prefer the Guitar Pro approach because I look at basically how it's written. I look at the bass lines how it's written, you know, how it works. So when I go look into the theory of that music, I can go, okay, well this is the certain bass line. That's a cool bass line, or I don't think this bass line fits. What can I do to put my spin to it? Because at the end of the day, when you do audition, you do want to put your trademark to your craft, because even that it's been written by the band, you're going in as a bassist. You want to bring your certain, what they call it, niche to it. You know, the drummers have their certain niche, the guitarist got their certain niche. What about us, man? We got the groove, so why not put your own niche? And yeah, and I'm sure that the guitarists will really appreciate that. Number three, prepare yourself. Okay, so these days they've got a DAW, a digital audio workstation. So basically, if you're on Apple, got GarageBand, I personally use Reaper, you've got Cubase, I'm sure there's lots out there. I'll put them on the caps somewhere. So with that kind of material, right, you pretty much plug it in and you start playing. Start playing now. You may be overwhelmed because you may have got 10 songs to learn and you're like, oh man, I've got to get that all done in 1 week. When I auditioned for Effigy of Madness, there was eight songs. Basically, they told me that they were just practicing 4 or 5 at the time. So I looked at it as an opportunity, well, what songs am I comfortable playing, because when I do the audition process, I'll play that song. If I can learn 60 to 80% of that song, it will probably give my chances to show them that I'm capable of playing their music. But you might be in a situation where a band needs a bassist very urgently because they've got shows, so they need you to learn 10. So it depends on your level of your musicianship. You know, you may be able to go full through 10. Some bands might not do any shows if they need a bass player or a member of a certain, you know, a drummer or guitarist as well. So you also got to consider that, you know, even that you might have to practice for 3 to 6 months before they go back and do shows, you as a new member. So you got to look at all that kind of possibilities as well. But you know, each band's very different how they operate. So basically, when in my case with Effigy Man, it's all just starting up. So 5 songs that they're going through, I looked at what kind of songs I could play, and there was probably about 2 or 3 that I could probably, you know what, just get my hands down and start learning. So preparation is very important. This depends on how much you need. Always communicate to the band that you're auditioning for. Just tell them, well, I should get it done in 1 week, 2 weeks. It just depends on the situation, because you could have a busy lifestyle without working as well. So that's something to consider. Always communicating. Communication is important. That's what I'm trying to say. So communication is very important when you're going through your preparation. So basically, they know where you're coming from, and you know where they're coming from. You know, communication. I can't stress that enough. Number 4, do audition day. So you get up, you're excited, and you're nervous as fuck. Don't be nervous. Be excited. I've got a story to tell you about my audition day. It was with Effigy Madness. Basically, I got up, excited. I knew I didn't have a car. I wasn't sure if I told Spud that I had an issue with the car, because I didn't want to panic, but I'm sure I did. I can't remember. I'm sure Spud will tell me after this video. He's got a good memory. Hey Spud! Anyway, so I hired a car. So I went to Hertz to pick up the hired car. They told me I have to pay a bond. And being a bassist, I did not read the finer details, and I'm like, oh, do I have to pay bond? And I didn't have the money, so I wasn't able to hire the car. So I had to speak with my parents. So after a friendly conversation with my mum and dad, or my mum or my papa, as we call it in Italian, they said, okay, you can use the car, drive safe, don't scratch it. Okay? So anyway, so I used my dad's car, drive up to Gosford, not scratching the car, and I made it on my way to Gosford. I met the band. First thing they look at, hi, how are you, all that kind of stuff. You know, they look at your gear, they look at what kind of gear you have, and you know, they'll ask me, oh, what's that? I said, oh, that's a dark glass distortion pedal. And then I asked, oh, what's that there? And he's like, oh, that's my multi-processor. I do this, my cleans and my distortion and my leads. You know, you look at the gear between both parties. You know, they want to see what you've got, you see what they've got. It works both ways. And then, so it's a good way to have chemistry as well. So, you know, if you get along with your bandmates, even in the audition, I should say, but you know, when you get along at the start and there's good chemistry and professionalism as well, you know, that's also most important. Bands, they do look at to see if they get along with you, or if you can, because they don't want to work with someone they don't want to bring someone in the band that basically is like, well, I don't know, but you know, even that you're good or you're not good, you know, that character is very important for bands I look for. And you know, if I was looking for a band, or if I'll look for that as well. So you know, that's very important. So you audition with a band. I want to stress, if you stuff up your riffs, you know, like in my experience, they just want to see, you know, what you can bring. If you learn most of the material and you prepare yourself, you'll have a good chances. Like, here's a video of a riff that is an Effigy Madness song. It's a self-titled song. This is pretty much how the riff goes. On audition day, I played something like that. I was very lucky enough that the band just started, so and that's all potential, and and they asked me if I wanted to join the band. Now I can't say what happens like in every band cases, but if they see that you've got potential, that you're keen, that you're dedicated, and you go and you practice, you make, and you have some issues along the way, like not having a car, but you found a way to go to the audition and do it, like all that kind of stuff, like. It lasts a pressure on your potential bandmates, and then they'll offer you a spot if you want to join the band, and obviously you'll say yes. Or if you don't feel it, just be honest and say, look, I'm not sure. Or if you have kind of doubts with yourself fitting in the band, you can just be honest with them and say, look, I'm happy to jam for a couple of weeks and we'll see what happens. As long as you're upfront and honest from the start, hunky-dory, everything's all good. But anyway, in my case, I said, fuck yeah, I'll join your band. And there you go, that's how I pretty much went through the process. So basically, you research the band, you get the material, you prepare yourself, familiarize the songs, and you go in audition, and good luck. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I really, really want to hear your audition stories, or any moments of your audition days, or how you go through if you were to audition for a band. So man, don't be shy, hit the comments, let's just have a conversation about it, and I'll see you guys at the next video.